We'll call to order tonight's Committee of the Whole for the September 16th, 2025 Auburn City Council meeting. City Council should have the minutes from our September the 2nd Committee of the Whole. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, is there a move to approve?
So moved.
Motion is second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and the minutes are carried forth. Mr. Griswold, ask for a moment to speak before we get into these appointments. Mr.
Thank you
Griswold.
very much, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to propose to the council that we postpone item 3, the Industrial Development Board, to the 7th of October till such time as we have a full council. I've talked with Councilman Parsons, and the good news is he's doing well at home, and he expects to go back to work on Friday, but I know he has some interest and input into this particular appointment.
So the purpose of this would be to allow Mr. Parsons to be here.
Yes, please.
It's a single purpose of that, okay.
Was that just a motion, Mayor, before you get further? Was there a second?
I was just allowing Mr. Griswold to speak at
Nope,
this
you're
point in
totally
time.
fine. I want to make sure we don't miss.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
we
make
have
a-
it.
I can make a formal motion if that's
Why
what's
don't,
needed.
why don't we have some discussion
Sure
first
thing.
about that?
Just want to make sure.
Why don't
Thank
we
you.
have some
Okay.
discussion first? Ms. Crouch, you help me if I'm wrong about this. I don't remember a time in my 15 years of being up here that we have delayed an appointment to a board or commission. We have certainly postponed agenda items before. Is there any type of procedure for this, or is it at the council's wishes with the council's rules?
That procedurally be up to the city council. Board, members of boards and commissions serve until somebody is appointed in their place. So sometimes we run past deadlines for certain reasons or whatever. So procedurally, that's going to be up to the city council. I don't recall either, Mayor, but up to the city council. If you were to entertain this, you would also then need to postpone the agenda item, which is the actual item, but you do your nominations during this time.
Gotcha. Okay, good. I mean, frankly, this is late. I haven't really thought about this. Honestly, I don't know if this changes anything. I certainly respect Bob, and he always has a lot to say, and I respect his point of view. But holding the process up just for one person to speak their point, and I don't know if that changes anybody's mind around here or not. So I don't. Does anybody on the council have a thought on this? This would be an unprecedented action by the council. So we're walking into different kind of rules and territory here. If anybody has anything else they'd like to add to this, because eventually I'm gonna need a vote from the council as to whether they want to delay this or not. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say?
Well, while I respect that Mr. Parsons wants to be present, and I have empathy as to why he's not here, this item is just as important as every other item on this agenda. So are we postponing, is there a motion to postpone the whole agenda? Because every item has its weight that's just as important as this appointment.
Anyone else have a thought or comment?
If you'd like to postpone item 4 as well, that's fine with me.
Are there timelines that we're running up against on either one of those?
I just looked that up. The industrial board, technically, you do have a meeting between that time frame. October 1 is your next meeting, and October 9th is when the terms expire. You already do have a vacancy because Laura Cooper had resigned several months ago. And then on Lee County Youth Development, theirs is September 30th, so it would be, if you were to do both, that would be expiring before the next meeting. But again, people serve until they are replaced, unless they resign. So it's at the pleasure of the council what you would like to do. They're on the agenda tonight because that's the procedure you set from a timing perspective.
I don't see any reason to consider item number 4. There's one applicant. That applicant has served one full term. To me personally, it's a no-brainer that we reappoint Ms. Marshall to Lee County Youth Development, so there's no sense in delaying that.
And that's why I didn't include it.
Yeah. So, all right, why don't you want to formally make a motion then, Mr. Griswold? If anybody else has anything to say, well,
Okay, thank you. On the committee of the whole, I move that we postpone item 3 to 7 October.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of moving item 3 to the next meeting, October the 7th, please raise your right hand. All opposed? Okay, we'll move forward then. Ms. Whitten?
Yes, sir. We have Industrial Development Board vacancies. 2 vacancies. Term begins October 10th, 2025, and in October 9, 2031. We have incumbents Bill Ham, who served 1 full term. For that, I would like to nominate Bill Ham for a 2nd full term.
Second.
A motion is second to reappoint Bill Ham to a 2nd full term. Any comments or questions? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries.
And then for our 2nd vacancy that was held by Laura Cooper, who served 2 full terms, I'd like to nominate Kristen Herring.
Second.
I have a motion is second for Kristen Herrings. Any comments?
I'd also like to nominate Mr. Walt Bowie, please.
Procedurally do that.
I think we're out of procedure right now, right? We should handle Dr. Herring's nomination first, and if it fails, we go to the next nomination.
I think you're fine to know that there are 2 nominations. You guys sometimes go back and forth in how you like to do this. I think the sensitive thing here is Councilman Dawson always points out is you're not voting against anybody. Is that correct, Councilman Dawson? And so I think you can take one at a time, but the first person that gets to a majority vote, there are 8 members present. You know, if you end up with 4, then you're not moving forward. But if somebody gets 5, then you won't go to the next person that's nominated. But it's okay to know that there are 2 out there. And do you usually do seconds for a nomination? Is that correct? And that was seconded for Mr. Bowie.
Did you second Mr. Bowie, Mr. Mormon? Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I would like the opportunity to discuss both before we vote, so that
Okay.
everybody has a
That'll be
full
fine.
picture.
That'll be fine. Go ahead. You have the floor, Mr. Griswold.
Thank you. Mr. Walt Bowie is my recommended nominee for the Industrial Development Board. And as you just stated, in no way is this recommendation a statement against Dr. Herring. She's certainly qualified. And, but I believe we should widen our base when it comes to some of these key positions on boards and commissions. You know, Walt is not one of the ones that have been in town for forever and ever, not one of the usual suspects, so to speak. Hasn't been a power broker, but he has real-world experience in workforce development and planning and the development of industrial capabilities and expansion of businesses to meet community needs. I can personally attest to the creation and expansion of industrial capabilities in the Huntsville, Meridianville, and Redstone Arsenal area. He is retired to Auburn and has so much to offer the city and much to offer for our future. I got to tell you that Walt Bowie is one of the smartest guys I've ever met, and that's really impressive. He's been a president of high-tech firms in the Redstone Arsenal community. And again, he brought a whole division expansion to Meridianville Airport by building facilities, identifying properties, going through the purchase of them and whatnot, in order to expand aviation support activities in support of the Army. So I strongly recommend Walt Bowie. He did apply last time around, and I guess because he wasn't a former city manager, he wasn't favorably considered. But, you know, we've got former mayor, former city manager, and now the other nominee is another prominent person with education connections. And if we're going to just limit our choices to the prominent appointees that have particular job experience, then we might as well just put that as part of the criterion and not even bother to vote. Thank you.
Anyone else have anything they'd like to add for either one of these individuals?
Yes, sir, Mayor. I don't know Mr. Is somebody ahead of me down there?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Tommy.
I don't know Mr. Bowie, but I'm sure he's a great guy. If Colonel Griswold is for him, so I'm certainly sure it wouldn't be nothing against him. But I've known Miss Herring for a long time, worked with her on some things, and I know what type of person, her work ethic, and I think Philip has mentioned he's gonna start working with high schoolers, work a program where they get some training while they're in school or something. I think we talked about at some point, some kind of thing. And I think that would really be great for this community, because not everybody's meant to go to college. Some people may want to go into the workforce, and I think it would be a ideal thing. I have a special place for folks that want to do a trade and get a skill. And frankly, the way things are today, you can make more money as an electrician or a plumber or about per hour than most anything else. So that's my reason for wanting her. I know what I'm getting with her. I don't know Mr. Bowie, but I take Mr. Colonel Griswold's word. I know he's got to be a good person. Colonel's for him, but it's nothing against him. But I think Miss Kristen will be a great asset to the board.
Ms. Whitten?
Sure. Well, the reason I recommended nominating Dr. Herring was because of her invaluable tenure in this community, her ability to run a school system that is highly successful. And one of the primary key recruitment factors when our industry comes to our community is one of the first questions asked is, how are our schools? So there's that connection. Also, as Chief Dawson mentioned, the fact that there's a connection to the workforce development component that is a key aspect to our industry is their ability to recruit and maintain a skilled workforce, which starts very young in our school system, of which the lens of Dr. Herring would be invaluable for that. I respect that Mr. Bowie is very capable and very versed in his resume, and that's exciting, and I appreciate his willingness to serve. But I think for this specific position that Dr. Herring is the reason why I made the nomination, for her abilities and her connections to the community and the ties for the school system to the IDB and industry.
I want to ask a question on the Industrial Development Board. So how many members are already on that board? I mean, it's
It's a 9-member board.
a 9-member. And so Dr. Herring, are she serving on any other boards other than, do you?
Superintendent of schools.
Yeah,
So-
go ahead, Mayor.
Is she still on the East Alabama Mental Health Board?
I believe that she is.
So we still have people that's serving on this industrial board that has educational background, and even, and I like Dr. Herring, don't get me wrong, but I'm sort of in agreement with Kelly on this one, because, you know, we probably need to look at other people that may come into this city and want to be on some of these boards and stuff, and giving them the opportunity when we already have people that's serving on other boards. And I don't think that it would, Dr. Herring, I think if they need her input or anything about the school system or even about the workforce and stuff, I'm quite sure the board can still reach out to her and give her probably what she needs or the tools she needs to work with and that type of stuff. So I like to, you know, just say that I would like to, you know, to try, just give somebody else a try to be added to the board.
Anyone else?
I will say the obvious. Only in Auburn, Alabama can we have 3 such eminently qualified people to fill vacancies on these boards. They're all exceptional people, and I would be happy with any and all of them. But I've had the pleasure of knowing Mr. Bowie for 3 years now, and he is one of the smartest people I've ever met, and he has done amazing things up in Huntsville area. I also know Dr. Herring very well for about the same amount of time. So it is a tough, tough call, and we're honored that they've all 3 wanted to be a part of this. So that's what we're faced with, and it's a good dilemma.
Thank you, Sonny.
I agree with Sonny that, you know, we're very blessed to have this type of problem up here. We have, for all of our boards and commissions, we have amazingly qualified candidates, and this is another example of that. I agree with what Kelly pointed out, saying that when we look at these boards, that a lot of times we want to think outside the box, and we want to put someone on a board like IDB that maybe a little bit different than what we've done in the past sometimes. And I actually feel like Ms. Herring, or Dr. Herring, fills that role. I'm not sure that we've had a superintendent that has served on IDB before. I think it sends a very positive message to people, and seeing the superintendent on the IDB. I think it speaks to where we place and where we value education in the city of Auburn, and I believe that would be a very positive thing for industry that's looking to do business here.
Max, did you?
Yeah, I concur with Tyler and a lot of what he just said. I think Mr. Bowie is obviously a very strong candidate, and it's nothing that against him and his qualifications. I just think it sends a very strong message to the industries that we are recruiting here to have former presidents of the university, the current president of the university, a superintendent of our school system, those folks that are very involved in our education and want to develop workforce here. I think that sends a very strong statement. So I support Ms. Herring, Dr. Herring, for that reason.
Okay. All right, we'll start with Dr. Herring. She was nominated first, so all in favor of Dr. Herring, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Let's get a hand count on that. All in favor of Dr. Herring, please raise your hand. Okay, and that's 5. All right, so Dr. Herring gets the second nomination. All right, Lee County Youth Development.
Yes, sir. We have one vacancy. Term begins October 1, 2025 and ends September 30, 2029. Incumbent Dolly Marshall has served 1 full term. I'd like to nominate Dolly Marshall for a second full term.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second for Dolly Marshall. Any comments, questions, thoughts? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And Dolly Marshall will be reappointed later on in the agenda. Questions on tonight's agenda for the city manager? Any questions? All right, anything for us?
We just have a replacement resolution for item 10A5, the Centercom conditional use. There was a mistake in the resolution and it has been corrected. It's just the planning commission's piece and not yours, but I wanted you to have the right one this evening.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any questions related to that? All right, is there a move to adjourn from the committee of the whole?
So moved.
All right, we've adjourned from the committee of the whole. It is 6:12, so we'll move right in to our regular agenda. I'll call to order tonight's Auburn City Council meeting for September the 16th, 2025. Certainly welcome everybody that is with us here tonight, as well as those that are listening on WANI and is watching, or that are watching through our streaming services. With the roll call, Lindsay?
Adams,
Here?
Koblenz,
Here.
Dawson,
Here.
Griswold,
Here.
Mormon,
Here.
Parsons, Taylor,
Here.
Witten,
Here.
Anders.
Here. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Earlier during the committee of the whole, the city council appointed Bill Ham to a second full term and appointed Dr. Kristen Herring to a first term on the Industrial Development Board. And the city council reappointed Ms. Dolly Marshall to a second full term on the Lee County Youth Development Center. As far as mayor's announcements, quickly, I just want to say how exciting it was to be at Lake Wilmore last night and to watch our children play football on in an adequate facility on a wonderful field. All 4 fields had lots of games going on. There were a lot of cars out there and a lot of people, and it was very encouraging. And I thank the council again for supporting that project and After one night, I would say our citizens seem to be pretty happy. I don't know what kind of calls and emails you got this morning, Allison, but it was very positive out there when I was out there. Very exciting last Friday, the airport control tower groundbreaking. I certainly want to thank Sonny and Tyler and Beth for coming to that ceremony. There was a lot of people who are great stakeholders in our community, but this is going to be a huge asset to the city of Auburn, as well as the city of Opelika and Auburn University, to have this control tower going up at the airport. And we want to thank Congressman Mike Rogers for his support on that. And then also last week, there was a dedication of the bridge at Exit 51 that will now be called the Benny Atkins Bridge. I thank Representative Joe Lovern for really pushing that through. I want to thank Tyler and Max for being there at that ceremony. And it's just remembering Benny Atkins and his heroism in the Vietnam War will be easier now that his name is on that bridge and people can go back and look him up and see the great, wonderful things that he did. I want to thank our partners and friends over in the city of Opelika and Opelika High School. Their celebration of the 100th Auburn-Opelika game was very appropriate a couple weeks ago. Very proud our guys won the game 17-10, but I thought the folks who are in charge of the celebration, because it was Opelika's home game, did a wonderful job appropriately recognizing the history of the Auburn-Opelika rivalry, and very excited about Auburn High's victory. And then I want to remind everyone, before our next meeting, the State of the City will occur on October the 2nd at 5:30 at the Googe Performing Arts Center. This is a free event, and come as you are after work. And if you got about an hour to spend, we'll talk to you about what's happened in our city and what's going to happen in our city. And I will personally recognize a number of outstanding individuals in our community who are quietly going about making Auburn a better and special place. So please come to the State of the City and learn about what's going on in your community. Anyone else have an announcement they'd like to make? Yes, sir, Mr. Griswold.
Yeah, I was proud to attend the 9/11 traveling exhibition that was hosted by the city of Opelika, and in particular the association that does the fire training activities over there. They were the hosts. It was at Southern Union, and I got to hand it to them. Opelika did it right. They did a really fine job, and it was a good remembrance of what happened on 9/11. I hope nobody forgets that. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I wanted to announce that on Monday, September the 22nd, I will be having a Ward 1 community meeting, and it's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. And our state representative, Pebblin Warren, will be our guest speaker, and she's going to talk about some of the changes in the law, and she want questions from the audience, and just what's happening at the state level. So I'm inviting everyone to come out and be a part of it.
Thank you, Ms. Doe. Anyone else? Yes, sir, Mr. Warren.
Thank you. One of the things that Auburn is known for, both the city and the campus, is being a friendly place. And the annual tradition of Hay Day is coming up 15 October this year. And there will be a formal event at the Hay Day Market, I believe, from 5 to 7 that day. And my apologies if I've stolen the thunder of the Auburn University folks, but it bears repeating. If you want to repeat, that'd be good. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else?
I would just like to say thank you to Fire Chief Kane and his crew for showing us the new Ladder 1, the new tiller. So if you got here and thought that the building was on fire, it was not. They were just showing us our brand-new investment, and I think it's been 3 years in the making to receive this.
Just about 3 years, correct. We got it 5 months early, but I just say they do that to make us feel good about the 3-year lead time.
So thank you. It was a pleasure to see it in operation, and hope that it does not get a lot of use.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move forward to Auburn University Communications.
Hey, good evening, everyone. This weekend was definitely full of a lot of excitement as it was the homecoming game and Auburn University's Parents Weekend. So it was super fun to get to welcome back all those alumni. Students celebrated with a parade on Friday night, and ODK hosted a banquet for the top 5 Miss Homecoming candidates. At Saturday's game, Mallory Holland was announced as as Auburn University's Miss Homecoming. She's a senior in industrial and systems engineering and was nominated by Tau Beta Pi, which is the Engineering Honor Society. Last night, SGA hosted an alumni event featuring 6 panelists who answered questions in front of the entire cabinet and Senate groups. It was honestly one of the best events we've done in SGA. It was super cool to get to meet people who have served in multiple positions before us. SGA's Freshman Forum is currently in first round interviews. The second round interviews are scheduled for next week, and we're hoping to have that group soon. And then SGA Exec is meeting with the associate deans later this week to discuss AI improvements. And then Lobby Board will be having their retreat this Thursday, and we're super, super excited about the group that we have this year. And then, as y'all have stated, we have Heyday coming up on October 15th, and would love to see you guys all there if y'all want to mark that on your calendars. And we're actually also going to be providing alumni this year with the opportunity to order a t-shirt. So if any of y'all are interested in that, we would love for y'all to have them. But that's all for today. Thank you so much, and War Eagle.
Thank you, Evan. Okay, we'll move ahead with citizens communications on items on tonight's agenda. This is only items on tonight's agenda. If you noticed during at item C, under ordinances and resolutions, items, under A and resolutions, those all have public hearings. If you'd like to address the council about any of those, we'd ask that you wait until then. But anything else that might be on our agenda, this will be your time to come speak, and you have 5 minutes to speak to the council. Okay, we'll move ahead with city manager's communications.
Oh, excuse me, Mayor. Can I say something right quick, if you don't mind? And it's just going back to my announcement. I
Okay.
forgot to say where the meeting was going to be. It's at the Boykin Community Center. I just looked at the notice. I didn't.
You know what,
Put that on
Connie,
there.
you're so consistent with that I just figured that's where it was. You didn't even have to say it. But thank
Just in
you.
case.
I'd hate for people to be wandering around. All right, city manager's communications.
Mayor, under City Manager's communications this evening, we have 4 vacancies on the Tree Commission. One unexpired term begins upon appointment and ends November 7th, 2026, and 3 terms begin November 8th and end November 7th, 2028. We also have 1 vacancy on the Education Building Authority with a term that begins November 12th and ends November 11th, 2031. All appointments will be made on the October 21st agenda. Are you ready for the consent agenda?
Please.
Does any council member wish to remove an item from the consent agenda and deal with that item individually?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mormon.
Items 8, Charlie, 2 and 3.
Yes, Max.
Item 8B1.
8B1. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move ahead with 8B1.
Item 8B1 is a request from Downtown Entertainment LLC doing business as, it says EN, but it means Sigma Nu Alumni Event UGA Game Day for a special events retail alcohol beverage license for an event to be held October 11th, 2025 at 715 West Magnolia Avenue.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Mr. Koblenz,
I just need to abstain on this one.
any other comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 1 abstention. All right, motion passes. All right, 8C2.
Item 8C2 authorizes a lease renewal with Cool Properties for employee health clinic known as City Care located at 778 North Dean Road, Suite 400. The new lease includes an original term of 4 years and the option to extend the original term for 3 successive periods of 3 years each.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Mr. Mormon?
Thank you. I don't know how long we've been doing this, but it seems like an absolute excellent benefit for the employees of the city, and I would guess a real strong recruiting tool to use. I asked the city manager if we were going to outgrow this facility, and she assures me we're not during this 4-year lease that we're about to undertake. I also understand that we catch a lot of things that might grow into real problems, not just financially, but health-wise later for our employees. Things like blood pressure and diabetes and other things that you have to catch early. So my hat's off to you for championing this thing, and it probably is cost-effective, but more importantly, it's a good thing to do.
It is just, for your information, it's been in operation since 2014.
Any other comments, questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. All right. 8C3.
Item 8C3 authorizes a contract with North America Fire Equipment Company for upfitting equipment for the new tiller truck that we just spoke about. It's for the fire department, of course, and it's in the amount of $50,138.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion is second. Mr. Mormon?
Thank you again. Part of the remuneration for a council member is to be able to ride on a fire truck when we first get them in. Let me tell you, that was amazing. It will go anywhere in downtown Auburn. I'm absolutely sure of it. We went through this little parking lot right here. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't been in the truck riding. It was quite something. Tonight, we're not voting on the truck. We're voting on the stuff that goes in it. And I just wanted to make that clear to those listening. And
We can only wish that truck was $50,000.
58 of them, yeah. So I think it was 1.2, but who?
It was
who counts?
1.61.
Ah, well, close enough. But I was asking, I asked the people that had the responsibility of driving that truck what it takes to sit in those seats, and as I've already been told, it's 40 hours of training, half of it, or some of it in the classroom, some of it on the street, in the field, and it is dramatic. I'm glad they're going through that training, because this is a high-tech piece of equipment. But tonight we're voting on a thermal camera, a RAM, and a cutter and spreader. Can you provide any more details for us on those?
Well, I'm such an expert in all of those pieces of equipment. However, I would love to hear from our fire chief, Matt Kane. He would love to tell you about them.
Oh, there he is.
Here he comes.
He's in disguise tonight, so
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry if you don't recognize me.
Well, what I understand so far, and you can steer me, no pun intended.
Sure.
On where I go wrong, but there's a thermal camera, and I assume that's for looking at a building without actually going in a building.
No, sir, that is for going inside the building and looking for heat signatures inside of a fire. It's a thermal imaging camera.
You don't take the image outside
No,
before
sir,
you go?
that's inside a structure.
Oh, my goodness. Could you amplify that a little bit?
Well, if you're going into a IDLH environment, which is where you have a immediate threat to life and health, you go into a smoke-filled environment, you can't see anything. So the thermal imaging camera helps you see that. You can see heat signatures through the smoke.
Through walls, I would guess.
Not through the walls, but through the smoke.
How do you see a heat signature if there's a fire?
So you're looking for the fire, yes, sir. So
Okay.
you'd use that camera to look through the smoke that we couldn't see with our eyes, and you'd use that camera to then find that heat signature.
All right. And this stays charged up on the machine?
That's
is that
correct. Yes,
what I
sir.
understand? Okay, and then there's a RAM. How do you use a RAM?
So those are what some people refer to as the jaws of life. It's all a kit that comes as a cutter, a spreader, and a ram. We use that for extrication on motor vehicle accidents.
So the RAM and the cutter and the spreader is all one piece of equipment?
It's three separate pieces, but we keep it all together. So
Okay.
depending on the extent of the damage on the vehicle, we keep it all in one space so that we can use it.
I understand the cutter and the spreader. What would the RAM do? Would it actually
So
puncture?
we typically use that to roll dashes. That's so if the dash is impinged onto a patient, we would use that ram to then roll the dash off of somebody.
So if we had a really bad car wreck, you would take that big truck?
That's yes, sir. And you saw that it can go anywhere. So.
Chief Kane, though, our engines, do they all have similar equipment?
Similar, yes, ma'am. Not exactly the same, but similar.
Right, but you would have cutter, spreader.
We have what's called combination tools on
Okay.
our pumpers, and
There
it
you go.
kind of is it's a hybrid of that kit that's a little bit smaller, more economical. This is the larger version that's meant for more heavy-duty extrication. Yeah, sure.
So do y'all have training?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I'm talking about training for city council so that,
You know, I tried to wait and give everybody a ride, but they were adamant.
I ain't talking
that
about a
we
ride, I'm talking about
close the
training. He
doors.
need to know every piece of equipment that's on that truck.
That's right. Hey, you come down to the fire station, I'll train every one of you. We're just fine.
Never
Chief, it
mind.
goes without saying, thank you for what you do and
Thank
what
you,
your
Mr. Mayor.
men and women do.
Of course.
Y'all allow us to sleep easy every night. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
It would be fun to see all of us dressed out in gear and how fast we could do it.
Now, you can climb the tower. and you can-
Especially Sunny.
But it's our risk manager is going to require a good bit of waivers from all of you, for sure.
All right, any other comments or questions? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the balance of the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further questions, comments? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The consent agenda is approved. Ordinances.
Item 9A adopts the fiscal year 26 and fiscal year 27 biennial budget. Last time unanimous consent was not granted, therefore a motion and second are needed.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the council? Any discussion? All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, the budget presentations by the department heads were very, very impressive and very informative. But actually, there was very little actual budget material covered during those briefings. Without a deeper look into what makes up the budget, I will be abstaining on this.
Anyone else?
I would like to thank City Manager Crouch for a thorough explanation of our budget in the different departments and the finance department as well, adding to that conversation. I personally feel like we were given quite a bit of information to digest through multiple presentations, especially the first day by City Manager Crouch. We also received a very thorough binder that we all had the opportunity to take the time to digest and ask questions over a lengthy period of time. So for that, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anyone else have a comment or question they'd like to add? I think it's certainly, I'm appreciative of all the hard work. And there was a lot of meetings about this. I don't know what kind of time y'all put into it, but it would probably be in the hundreds of hours combined of all the efforts of all the people involved. I want to thank every department head and every business lead who took the responsibility to make sure that what you were wanting to do and what your goals and ambitions could be quantified and defended. All of you did that with professionalism, and I'm certainly grateful for that. I want to thank our budget team who have to scrutinize every one of those numbers and make them all make sense so that they all add up in the right place. And there's a lot of pressure on you guys every other year to do this and do it right, and I appreciate you doing that. And Allison, your leadership over our finance team is impeccable and envied by many people I know around the state, and I just appreciate what all of y'all do. It was an outstanding effort. I want to say to our citizens, if you want to know something about our budget, it's right there. You can pull it up online. Any of us can help get you the right answer that you're looking for, or the answer that you're looking for. We take this very seriously. This is your money that you've created, that you have spent, or you have earned, and part of it's gone to the city to pay for the services to make this a special and wonderful place. You deserve to know how it works, and you deserve to know how it got there. And so we are prepared to answer those questions, but it's all right there. And I keep that notebook on top of my desks year round. There's all kinds of information in it that tells the story of Auburn. And so I'm just grateful for the efforts. Thank you, everybody that participated in doing a 24-month budget. Kudos to all of you. We're grateful. All right. So we still need to do a roll call vote, though, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second. This time, Lindsay, you'll do the roll call.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Koblenz,
Yes, ma'am.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold,
Abstain?
Mormon,
Yes, ma'am.
Anders.
Yes, sir. All right, item B.
All right. Item 9B1 is a request to annex approximately 5.83 acres of property located at 301 Lee Road 15, also known as Persimmon Drive. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at its August 14th meeting. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask unanimous consent.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with the vote on this evening? Seeing and hearing none, are there any comments or questions?
I just also want to point out, because I feel like this is something that's important when we talk about annexations, that this does have an annexation priority of high. Just for a comment.
Okay, anything else? Any other comments or questions?
Can you repeat that last part you just said out there?
Sure, yes. I think it's of important note that the priority of annexing this particular piece of property has been designated as a high priority as opposed to low or medium priority.
Oh, okay, I just,
Priority.
thanks.
No further comments or questions. Lindsay, with the roll call, oh, you guys.
Well, I
just
just want to make a small comment, if I
Please.
may. This
Yeah.
is a warehouse, is it not?
We're going to get to that. There are actually 4 items that, or more, that you're dealing with some zonings. There's actually more than that, 5 or 6 items dealing completely. You have warehousing going on 2 parcels. You're going to deal with 2 things on Persimmon Lane. But this one, the annexation is catching up now. So there'll be multiple actions.
5 acres and 10 acres.
Yes, sir.
Um,
And they'll have their proposed similar uses moving on down when you get to resolutions.
Well, obviously, it's not going to increase his business to have it, well, it might a little, but the payoff here, I think, for the developer and the owner is that fire protection, police protection, but as far as increasing business, he could have had this warehouse out in the county.
When we talked about that a little bit in a previous meeting, this owner's been intentional about annexing their office facility where, a lot of their folks work out in the field, but that also is a tax generator for the city, and they've been intentional about doing this. They may not, and our planning director may know, just be using these warehouse offices for their own purposes. Some of their subcontractors they commonly work with may be leasing space in there, and that's just more business in our city. A lot of these type of uses reside outside the city limits because of lack of availability of this type of space in the city limits. So we're appreciative from an investment standpoint that the property owner would come in, pay property taxes, and some of these folks will pay other various taxes for being in the city limits, and we appreciate that.
Being a representative from Ward 8, we're very happy to have them in the city limits, and it should have been done a few years ago, so we're very happy to have it out there.
Anyone else? All right, with the roll call, Lindsay.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Koblenz,
Yes, ma'am.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Mormon,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, item 9B2 is a request to annex approximately 22 acres of property known as Barron's Mobile Home Park located at 2045 Lee Road 137, also known as Wire Road. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request at its August 14th meeting. Unanimous consent is necessary.
Introduce ordinance and ask unanimous consent.
Second?
I have a motion and seconds. Anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with the vote on this evening? Seeing or hearing none, any comments or questions?
I'd like the city manager to explain the prior agreement that was made between the city and the previous owner and how that applies to this annexation.
Gladly, and I may get some help from our Executive Director of Development, Scott Cummings, but in 2001, the Alabama Department of Environmental Management approached the city and said we had a health, safety, welfare issue with private treatment systems that this particular mobile home park had, which meant we had raw sewage issues, asked us if this park could connect to the city sewer system for health, safety reasons. So the city made an agreement with the owner saying, and we don't normally allow anything that is not in the city limits to tie into the city sewer system. There are very few exceptions. And this agreement in the name of health, safety, and welfare was made with the caveat that if the owner of the property, their heirs they were allowed to flip to heirs, but nobody else. If they flipped the property at all and were tied to the city sewer, they had to petition for annexation. The ownership of this property recently changed hands to a non-heir, so therefore the provision was triggered. There are several other trailer parks or mobile home parks that had the same provision. Some of them flipped ownership before they tied to the city's sewer, and therefore it did not trigger the provision, and now they are tied and it would trigger it. So this is under Section 94, which is somebody getting a thing of benefit from the city. Part of the consideration for the council at the time was these folks would have to annex and pay full property taxes, that kind of thing. I do want to be clear, though, that they paid all sewer connection fees at the time. They had to pay half of the residential rental tax. They had to pay some other taxes and all associated sewer fees, Eric, that's right. Normal sewer fees that anybody else had to pay had to be paid at the then time and was paid on a monthly basis based on their water usage. But this provision was triggered because it sold.
Thank you, May. That gets you.
And I'm assuming that the roads within the trailer park are not up to city standard at this point. Is that
Correct, they're
Because-
private.
private road? Will they remain private roads?
Yes, they'll remain private. And so this then comes in as a rural designated property, and it would be, unless the planning director corrects me, a non-conforming use in the rural zone. And so for them to become a conforming mobile home park, they would have to pave roads and do many other things per special development standards in the zoning ordinance.
Yeah, that's correct.
So if they had washouts and that kind of stuff, that's on them to fix, not us.
It is, but as you've asked before, and Councilwoman Taylor has requested on behalf of some of her constituents, if we have a health, safety, welfare issue or we don't feel police, fire, or EMS can adequately access residences, then our inspection services director and team works with the owners, and we do require that they fix that to protect the people who live there on private property.
On their dime?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Any other comments or questions?
There's no confusion about this
provision that was triggered.
I mean, the owners are aware of it, okay with it?
They were keenly aware of it. We did send them a letter reminding them that this was a requirement to come in. Mr. Cummings, they were aware, and Mr. Carson, there were some meetings that were had before I think all this transpired, that they knew that this existed.
That's correct. From the earliest meetings we had, we made sure this point was clear.
So is the trailer park, located on all 22 acres? Or,
Go ahead.
Yes, and so, yeah, it's the structures aren't shown on the Prox map, but there are structures throughout the entire piece. The only piece where there isn't, I guess, is the part where it looks like there's a tail at the I guess that's the southern-eastern portion.
Yeah, that's where the sewer lines run through, right, and cross going to other properties and so on, yes.
do you know about how many trailers are already in that park?
117, 119. So 117, 119 is about that. It's about that amount.
So that would be the number fixed, where they will not be able to add to that number from here forward once annexed.
Okay.
Unless they become, unless they become conforming.
And they would have to go through a whole use process to do that.
Correct, but I guess kind of the whole thing in the city can add, like, once existing trailer parks cannot be added to. So whatever trailers that you do have, when they do come into the city, you need to be satisfied with the number.
Gotcha.
Once you annex,
It can lower from there, but once a lot is vacated, you can't then,
The only way that they could replace a trailer is if they became conforming.
if they went through a lengthy process and came.
But they
yeah.
could not add trailers.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, they can't increase that number. This has been commonplace in many areas of the city where we've seen changes.
But you're saying that if somebody move out of a trailer, then they can replace it with another trailer as long as they stay within that 119? Is that?
So I guess kind of if situations that we have had of where if people they own trailers, they want to move to new lots, that can't happen. If they move someone out of a trailer and someone moves into that trailer, that's fine. It's not
They can't replace it,
Yeah,
is
they
what.
can't replace it.
Okay.
Once you have a non-conformity like that, typically once it's removed at all, it is not allowed to be replaced.
Correct.
Okay, okay.
So one of the issues is just a lot of the older trailers, when people want to repurpose them or rehabilitate them, that's when we run into issues because they've either removed it too soon or something like that, and then they can't put it back.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else have a question, comment? Okay, Lindsay with the roll call?
Witten,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Koblenz,
Yes, ma'am.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor,
Yes.
Anders.
Yes.
Okay, item 9C1 is a request to rezone approximately 5.83 acres of property located at 301 now Persimmon Drive, since you just annexed it from rural to industrial. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request as long as the annexation was approved at its August 14th meeting. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask unanimous consent.
Second.
A motion seconds. Anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with the vote on this evening? Okay. Seeing and hearing none, we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to speak to the council. Okay, seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council? Okay, Lindsay with the roll call?
Adams,
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Dawson?
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor?
Yes.
Witten?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Item 9C2 is a request to rezone approximately 10.08 acres of property located at 306 Persimmon Drive from rural to industrial. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request at its July 10th meeting. Unanimous consent is necessary and a public hearing is required.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask unanimous consent.
Second.
Have a motion and seconds. Anyone on the council have a problem moving forward to vote on this evening? Seeing and hearing none, we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. You have 5 minutes to speak. Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council?
Okay, so we voted to, annex 5.83 acres.
At 301, and then you
Oh,
voted.
okay, the addresses are
Yes,
different.
yes, ma'am,
Okay,
there you go.
okay.
There's 301 and 306.
Okay, I
There we
got
go.
you.
Any other questions? Okay, Lindsay?
Koblenz?
Yes, ma'am.
Dawson?
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor?
Yes.
Witten?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Item 9C3 is a request to rezone approximately 10.1 acres of property located on the west side of Wrights Mill Road, just south of Interstate 85, from rural to development district housing. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request at its May 8th meeting. This item was postponed from the July 8th meeting to allow time for a plan development district overlay to be submitted and reviewed by the Planning Commission. The plan development district request will be considered under item 9C4. A motion made by Councilman Koblenz and seconded by Councilman Adams already took place at the July 8th meeting. A public hearing was not held and is therefore required.
So we just need a motion now?
No motion. You just need a public hearing.
Just need a public hearing. Okay, we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council on this, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. You have 5 minutes to speak to the city council.
Hello.
Hello.
William Fowler, 1425 Clove Brook, Auburn, Alabama. This, just curious, is this the one close to Wrights Mill Road School, or is this the one on the, across the interstate?
It's across the interstate, correct?
Yes.
It's across the interstate.
Okay, because I'm just wondering, because when I went down there, it's like, how's that gonna work? Because like, you have a hard time trying to get any buses in that place, because right now we are stuck with all other projects down the other side, south of I-85 and it's like too much work, and I wish we just postponed, actually not postponed this, I wish we just cancel this idea and let it, because we have too many projects in that ward district going on, and nothing is getting accomplished in in this ward district of that area, I mean, because it's just keeps piling up on our district. Because I really don't want this to turn into a duplex, a giant duplex, because plus, we always have too much crime rates going on in that area. And plus, I know the chief over here on my right probably will have the same comment too about that. And yeah, I feel like it will raise crime safety, especially for our school buses. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll close the public, oh, sorry. Yes, sir.
We're on C3, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no duplexes here.
Brett,
Places.
can you name and address? the
Brett
record?
Vasquin with the Foresight Group. I'm the applicant here. There's no duplexes here. I think we're showing 21 fee simple lots here.
Would you,
And,
for the audience, explain what fee simple means?
Yeah, they'll be subdivided with public street access and frontage. We're building a new frontage road or an internal road where all these homes will take access off. So there will not be any direct access from these residential driveways to Wrights Mill Road. So it'll all take place through a new public street. These houses, we're showing 21. We just revised it down to 19. We're making these a little bit wider and pushing up the price point. So, these homes are going to be somewhere between probably starting at $850 up to about $1.2 million. So, we're all about crime, not having crime, but I don't think this part of town is where it's going to be coming from. So, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, anyone else? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council?
Mr. Mayor, I postponed this item at the, I guess it was the July 8th meeting. And obviously, we just got an explanation of what the project is, so I'm not going to ask for that again. It's 19 single-family home lots. Purpose of postponing at that time was to, like we said, allow the PDD to catch up. So just want to remind the council of that. I strongly urge the PDD to be in place if we do approve this first item tonight, so.
All right. Thank you, Max. Anyone else? Okay, roll call. Lindsay?
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Koblenz,
Yes, ma'am.
Andrews.
Yes.
Item 9C4 is a request to apply the Planned Development District overlay designation to approximately 10.1 acres of property located on the west side of Wrights Mill Road, just south of Interstate 85, currently zoned Development District Housing. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at its August 14th meeting. A public hearing is required.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
Have motion and seconds. Anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with the vote on this evening? Seeing and hearing none, we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. You have 5 minutes. Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council?
I failed to mention last time, I appreciate the developer adding this PDD component to it, and the plan, I think, fits in with the land use plan. I think it's a good plan, and I'm appreciative of them adding this PDD aspect to it, so should have mentioned that earlier, I apologize.
Yeah, well, I want to commend you, Councilman Koblenz. You did a great job in working with this project and working with the staff and working with the developer, so commendations to you. All right, anyone else?
I had a point of confusion that was cleared up for me. There was a discussion of a public road. That is not different access, as it turns out. That's an internal road with a cul-de-sac at the end. Well, 2, I guess. at the
Yes,
end.
sir, from the plan. Yeah, and as Mr. Baskin was saying, I think the council was concerned previously, would any of these have driveways that accessed Wrights Mill Road, and that was not their intent. There would be a public street that all these residents, well, 2 really, that they take access from.
Anyone else?
And the PDD follows the land, so if it were to change ownership, the PDD stays in force.
That's correct. It runs with the land. It's part of the zoning. It's an overlay. That's why it's adopted by ordinance.
All right, Lindsay with the roll call?
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Koblenz,
Yes, ma'am.
Dawson.
Yes, ma'am.
Andrews.
Yes.
Under Resolutions, item 10A1 is a request for conditional use approval of a performance residential use, an 8-unit, multiple-unit development on approximately .84 acres of property located at 406 North Donahue Drive in the Corridor Redevelopment West zoning district. Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request at its September 11th meeting. A public hearing is required.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. This time we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. You have 5 minutes to speak to the council.
Evening. Lee Tharp, Cadre Engineering, just representing the applicant. Just want to let everybody know I'm here if there's any questions I might need to answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anyone else like to address the council? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 10A2 is a request for conditional use approval of a commercial support use at 13,800 square foot contractor warehouse and office on approximately 5.83 acres of property located at 301 Persimmon Drive in the industrial zoning district. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request at its August 14th meeting. A public hearing is required.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. We'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. And you have 5 minutes to speak to the council. We'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 10A3 is a request for conditional use approval of a commercial support use of 14,280 square feet of contractor warehouses and offices on approximately 10.08 acres of property located at 306 Persimmon Drive in the Industrial Zoning District. Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request at its July 10th meeting. A public hearing is required.
Move for approval.
Second.
A motion is second. This time we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. You have 5 minutes to speak to the council. Okay, seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 10A4 is a request for conditional use approval of an industrial use for a 24,300 square foot addition to an existing manufacturing facility located at 760 West Veterans Boulevard in the Industrial Zoning District. Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request at its September 11th meeting. A public hearing is required.
Move for approval.
Second.
A motion is second. This time we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and we'll give you 5 minutes to speak. All right, seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? Congratulations to the staff. This is an expansion, is great. It's much to celebrate, so congratulations. All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 10A5 is a request for conditional use approval for a Type 1 federal firearms license for property located at 1937 Watley Road in the Comprehensive Development District zoning district. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this request at its September 11th meeting. A public hearing is required.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This time we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. All right, seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council?
This change had no substantive effect, did it? It was just,
Yeah, that was just, there was some incorrect information in the resolution about it being a performance residential use, and that's, language got picked up from a different resolution, so this is just clarifying what the resolution should have said.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 10B authorizes a tax abatement for Pyeongsan America Incorporated located at 760 West Veterans Boulevard for the expansion of their facility and acquisition of new machinery and equipment. The company plans to invest approximately $9.7 million and anticipates hiring 13 new employees. Or
Move for
30,
approval.
I'm sorry.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? There's no public hearing for this, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Mayor, those are all the items of business we have for you this evening.
Okay, this time we'll open the citizens' open forum. If you'd like to address city council about anything, now is your opportunity to do that. Please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak to the council, and please make your comments addressed to the council.
William Fowler again, 1425 Clovebrook. This one is about, I went walking a couple of these city parks, well, sort of little city parks we have. And the parks kind of need to be repaired because I had a little buddy of mine ride his little bicycle around one of the park and he almost fell off twice. And the two parks are actually lies in, one is lies in between Lottie Chemical Agency Company and the other one right across the street from them, the new company, Illigen, or whatever it's called. And the other one needs to be repaired is near Fire Station 5, the one way south of Station 5. Because when you walk through there, you can see it's broken up, it's going to get rooted up, and it's unsafe for anybody walking. Or, well, if you're walking, yes, for anybody on the bicycle, well, you're going to fall off your bike twice. But yeah, and it's not safe for anybody riding a bike on those two little parks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, those are not city parks. They're owned by the Industrial Development Board, and the HOAs are property owners associations of those parks, and they pay for the maintenance of those facilities, and they're technically for the use, while the public does recreate there, they're meant for the use of the industries and their employees. So the Parks and Recreation Department is not included in those parks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Who will be next? Okay, we'll close the citizens open forum. Anyone on the council have anything they'd like to add? Okay, is there a move to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.
We're adjourned.